Greetings, I am Stephanie Wall. I'm the Transformation Architect. I am the founder and CEO of Speaker Stephanie LLC. I am the founder of 1 Million Lives Transformed and HerStory, OurStory, 1 Hour of Power. Transforming your life has everything to do with transforming your attitude. So happiness, I want you to look within. We have to learn to control our minds, our hearts, and our attitudes. So start changing your happiness and the happiness around you by first, instead of focusing on what makes you happy, focus on making other people happy. Listen, the word of the day is sacrifice. How many of you know that anything worth having requires sacrifice? And sacrifice is hard. So before you decide that there's something that you really want, I once heard that if you are not willing to give it 100%, then you're doomed to fail. So the word of the day is sacrifice. What are you willing to give up to get what you want?
Motivational speaker, certified transformation life coach, and author. Let Speaker Stephanie empower and inspire you to be the best you can be. To learn more, visit us at speakerstephanie.com. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram. Are you ready to transform your life?
HerStory, OurStory, 1 Hour of Power. It's an online, free, private group for women. There's a huge disconnect between what we go after and what we really want. Let's move forward. Join HerStory, OurStory, 1 Hour of Power. Do you sometimes feel unfulfilled and confused about your purpose? You don't have to go it alone. Come on over to the No Judgment Zone, where you're going to connect with other like-minded women from all over the world and receive support from others who have been through similar situations. Everyone has a story. What's your story? Seeking guest speakers. Do you have a story, talent, or ability that you would love to share? We invite you to be our guest. Hello and welcome to HerStory, OurStory. My name is Stephanie Wall. They call me Speaker Stephanie. I am the CEO and founder of Speaker Stephanie LLC and the founder of HerStory, OurStory, 1 Hour of Power, and the founder of 1 Million Lives Transformed, where we transform lives, relationships, and finances. The goal is for every woman, every person to transform their lives. I particularly super serve those women who've experienced trauma in their lives. Welcome to HerStory, OurStory. Remember, you belong here. You belong there. You belong everywhere. Be sure to shine your light. My name is Stephanie Wall, and I'm certainly getting it all. Come on in.
Hello everyone, and welcome to HerStory, OurStory. My name is Hope Jackson, founder of Always Hope, and my purpose and goal is to help women to unlock what is hidden inside them. I know from experience that sometimes in life when you're going through dark times, you don't realize the purpose that you have inside of you. So my goal is to help you to find it, and just to remind you that no matter what you go through in life, there is always hope.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to HerStory, OurStory. Where's my co-host? Where's my co-host? Hey there, Hope. Now, Hope, before we even jump in here, I got to fix it, G. I got to fix it. Okay, so y'all saw me. I don't know if y'all saw, I went live about 4 something today. I went live. I done sang happy birthday. I done prayed and everything, all for Hope. I done prayed for her birthday. I done asked y'all. I told you if y'all want to get some cash app for the people to do cash app stuff. I went there. I went the whole 9 yards, y'all. And then I got in the house, and now mind you, I sat down and my mind said, dang, how did I miss her birthday? Because Facebook told me it was Hope's birthday. Yep. And then I got in here, my phone rang, and Hope was like, hey, Stephanie Wall, Dr. Stephanie. I said, hey. She said, it's not my birthday. Okay, wait a minute. I said, now that's what I get for letting Facebook tell me when her birthday was. When I saw it, I was like, I swore we just had the birthday. But see, I'm bad with that thing. So I thought, well, maybe I missed it. And the last time I thought that was like last year. Because you know, stuff happens. I'm busy. But when she told me that, we had a good laugh. She's like, no. Y'all, this is the thing, though. She ain't even fixed it for me. You know what I'm saying? Fix it, Jesus. Because I text her and said, happy birthday with an emoji and everything. She ain't tell me then, y'all. She ain't tell me. She just let me just go on out there and do a whole live for about 15 minutes. But I left it up for y'all because see, I thought I blessed some people. But Hope, fix it. What's going on, Hope?
Oh, it was so funny. And the funny thing is, when I saw your text message, I was like, I wonder if she accidentally sent that to me. So I didn't think much of it. And then I saw the live, and then my sisters would text me, did you change your birthday? I was like, no. It's okay though. We gonna celebrate something because today is a good day. It's somebody's birthday, and it could be another Hope Jackson. It may be her birthday today. So we're wishing Hope Jackson happy birthday today. And you done got some prayers and some blessings. So now we're gonna get into this show, and I'm gonna open us up in prayer because God says humor is great for the soul. So a good laugh today was great for the soul. So let us just give honor and glory to God by opening in prayer. So Heavenly Father, we thank you for this day, Lord Father God. We know this day would not be possible without you. We thank you, Lord, for Stephanie and her obedience and continuing to show up each and every week, touching each and every person's life with the goal of transforming 1 million lives. Lord Father God, we thank you for our guest tonight and her yes, for coming on this show to share her story and hopefully to change and help to create someone else's story. So Lord Father God, we thank you for this day. We just ask you to move in the way that you want us to go tonight, Lord Father God. And all these things we ask in your mighty and precious name. Amen.
Amen. See, Hope, it's going to be your birthday no matter what. Facebook. We are so sorry. So this is the time where we don't want to prolong this thing because our Adwanna, our guest, is getting ready to come on here. You know, we love for the guests to come on and tell you all about themselves. But this is what, hey, Clarissa, just go ahead on and say it. Just go ahead on and say it. That's my sister. Because, you know, you got to do it. But this is what we're going to do here. Hope, I want you to introduce our guest, and then we're going to bring her on up. Hope, are you ready? We'll give Hope a few minutes. Clarissa, that's my sister. Go forth, Hope. Introduce our guest.
So coming to the stage, you all, we have Adwanna Howard, Lord Father God, and she has a powerful story for us tonight. So we are super grateful for all that she's doing. She has a mobile learning clinic, nonprofit mobile tutoring center that caters to underserved students in low-income areas. She is originally from Queens, New York, but she currently resides in North Carolina, where her business is based. And her desire is to help students improve in areas needed to be successful. So you all, please send a warm welcome. Make sure that you celebrate her for all that she's doing. But we would like to bring her to the stage so we can get into her story tonight. So Adwanna, thank you so much for coming on to Her Story, Our Story, and talking with Stephanie and I tonight. We are super excited to have you on and just to get more into what it is that you're doing with your mobile clinics and mobile tutoring.
Well, I appreciate you inviting me.
Right.
So what, you want me to just tell you what it is that we do here?
So we can go ahead and start off with your 6-word story. So you can just tell us your 6-word story. Don't give us too much into it, but just kind of detail what that 6-word story is, and then we'll get more into it later.
Okay. Well, I have to say that I believe my 6-word story goes in line with my purpose, and that is to help all students realize their potential. So that's my 6 word. Help all students realize their potential. That's my 6-word story.
All right. To help all students realize their potential. That's good. I like that. And we need people out there who are working with students and the youth, because the youth, they are our future. So somebody has to mold and shape them and really help them out. So we appreciate for what you're doing. Stephanie, did you want to pop in and say something?
Okay, I want to know, what does that mean? So I want you to give Hope just a little bit of it. Don't give them the whole, the whole thing. Just like, where did that come from? And then after you do that, then we'll go to commercial, and then we'll come back and you're going to give us the meat and potatoes.
All right. Well, to give you just the gist of what that means is, where I live, the students, all they see is this. This is all they know is this. They want to grow up and work at Walmart. That's all they know. So I want to give them an opportunity to not only see different things, but see themselves doing different things. And they can't realize their potential unless they actually know that there are other things that they can see and do.
That is key, and I thank you for that, because I for my life before this and prior to that, the thing I've been telling everybody is to listen, and I want to know, which dream are they sitting on that's on the other side of that fear? Because I know that you didn't just say, you know what, I'm built for this, and there's nothing that's scary about this. I'm just gonna go ahead and do this thing, and there was some challenges, and I want to know about, number one, what made you make the decision? How did you do that? How did you do it? And more about the business, what it does, who it serves, and how can somebody else is thinking about doing something like this, what could they do? So we're going to talk about that when we come back from this commercial. So you all hold tight.
Hi, I'm Sharon Allen. And since I began my journey with Speaker Stephanie, the transformation architect and also known as the Tower of Power, I've gained so much more confidence. I've also been able to help other women with their life challenges, such as feeling stuck, divorce, and even loss. So if you want to increase your visibility or grow your business or even your confidence using your voice, I highly recommend that you use and work with Stephanie, because she is awesome and she is the best of the best. I mean, great beyond words.
Baby, the best of the best, I receive it. So let's talk about doing it scared. So I want you, because everybody on this show has a story. Where's my co-host? All right, look, girl, get that sip. So I want to know, we want to know, every person that comes on, this is called Her Story. Her Story, Our Story, 1 hour of power. Every woman has a story. And what we found, and the reason it was created in the first place, is we found that so many of us have stories, but those stories hold us hostage. We can't move forward to our next because we got something that happened. And we lined everybody up in the room and we said, okay, now, what's your truth? Right? Who you used to be that you may not talk about anymore? Or what have you overcome? So I want to know from you, before we even get into your business, what's your story? Who were you before you were CEO, Adwanna Howard, MED? Before you were who you are, who were you? And tell me about a time that you experienced something and you had to overcome it.
Okay. Before I started 4.0, I was just Miss Howard, but that Miss Howard was because I was a teacher, classroom teacher for 18 years.
Wait a minute, Miss Howard?
Yes.
As in Miss Howard, Miss Howard?
Yes, Miss Howard, all day long. Yes.
I'm receiving. Okay, I'm back. I'm sorry.
Yeah, so I was Miss Howard. I was first, second grade teacher. I was teacher of adults. I guess I can say Job Corps. They don't know which one. I was teacher, and it's what I love to do. I had an affinity for it. I just love teaching. And it was the recommendation of a very special friend of mine to say, why not do it as a business, So while I was teaching, there were people who would ask for my assistance with certain things, and I would just go ahead and do it because I loved it. I loved to do it. So that's who I was before I ever started the business and become CEO of my own company. By the way, I never thought I would, it never occurred to me that I could be the CEO of my own company. That's not anything that was ever introduced to me growing up.
So speaking of that, so when you were growing up, so how'd you become an educator? Were there other educators in your family? You just said, you know how like we like the rest of us, because I played school and had to always be the teacher, probably because I didn't want to be the student. But look, you want to be the teacher. We all was playing house or what we were playing. What made you become an educator? And then B, I want you to tell me, how did you go from being an educator, well, you were still an educator, but launching this mobile education center, as I like to call it.
All right. So I became an educator by accident, actually, because my first degree is animal science. My desire was to become a veterinarian, but there were some minor nuances where I had credits to graduate, but not enough to go to vet school. So I had to take classes after graduation. And I needed a set schedule that allowed me to work at some point and then also take classes. So I needed that stability, and teaching was the only job I thought of that would allow me a set schedule and I can go to class and know that I have it all in the day. So I got a job as a first grade teacher. That was my first job, and I totally loved it, to the point that I didn't even take the classes. I never took the classes to go to vet school. I decided then teaching is what I wanted to do. So I became a teacher kind of by accident, but it's been 18 years now and I've not changed careers, and I'm not going to. And something I overcame, I would have to say it was that transition, actually. That transition from 6 years old to 26, I want to be a veterinarian. And all of my actions are in that, toward that goal. But then to realize, okay, now I got to make this switch. And yes, I totally loved it, but I didn't have a teacher background. I didn't have the education background. So then I had to take all of my veterinary medicine and all of that and leave it in the past, and then pursue a master's degree in education, which is what I've done since then. And my doctorate in education, which I'm that close to finishing. And so, yeah, I had to, it's a mind state, it's a switch. And no, I did not have entrepreneurs in my family that I knew of growing up. My mother had like a minor company, homemade company of printing, things like that. But as far as business and going out in the community and serving people, I never saw that growing up.
So tell me, how did you, all right, so you got you overcame those things and you had your early years, and thank you for that. And thank you for telling us that you started out on one track, as so many of us, you start out, I will tell you, my degree, my undergraduate and my master's degree is in business, but I retired as the commander of a police department. Don't ask. Crap happens. And guess what? And let me tell you right now, I'm real clear. A couple times I did say, how in the world did I get here? But I'm real clear that I knew that if not me, then who? First, I was trying to figure out, what you doing here? But once I got there, I said, I'm exactly who needed to be here at this time doing this job. Do you understand? So I'm a firm believer in that. But I want to know, so you transitioned. What was the light bulb moment that said, you know what? I think I'm going to do X, Y, and Z. And what were like steps? Like, how'd you get there to that?
Okay. I was all but kicked in the back to do it by a friend of mine she was an entrepreneur, and I hung out with her a lot, but it was my goal to become a college professor. That's where I thought I wanted to be, because I fell so in love with education. I said, okay, I'm going to become a college professor. I'm going to teach at that level. And that's still somewhere in there, it's not off the table, but yeah, she's like, okay, let's do it. It was like Christmas break, and I was going out of town because I always go out of town for the holidays to be with my family, my sister Clarissa. And she's like, okay, well, when you get back, we starting this business. And she just wouldn't let me give up. She wouldn't let me quit. And it just grew from there. It's like students started coming. She let me start in a space upstairs in her cafe. She had a restaurant, and there was a space up there that we transformed into a classroom. So from there, working with 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 students, it grew to me having my own building, which was not far from that cafe, actually. And so from that building with several rooms in it, I was able to tutor students of various ages, various subjects. Then it became, I don't want to be confined to this particular area. I can reach more students if I create a mobile classroom. And this was 2018 when I had this idea. And I held a fundraiser. You don't always get the support you think you're going to get. But, I took the steps that I knew to take at the time. And it was actually 2020 when I actually was able to purchase my first bus and have it transformed into 3 classrooms, which is what I use now to travel from this county to 2 other counties to help students so that I'm not confined just to my city. That's my desire. And we do it virtually too, but face to face is so much more, it works so much better. So the idea came from just not wanting to be confined and wanting to help more students. So my desire is to replicate what I have now and continue to replicate them such that we're covering much larger areas.
I love that. I love, and in fact, I see your sister on here talking about we hold each other accountable to our purpose, and I received that because I can see it because she's such a loving person, and just the fact that you are a sister, that tells me that you got to be just for love, and I can see it. I can feel your spirit. I can feel it. So, what are the ages? So, tell me about your program. Tell me, like, so if I'm somebody, I'm in the area, and I'm like, well, what do you do? Like, how do I, what is this mobile education center? What is it? Tell me about it.
So what it is essentially is a bus that we removed all the seats and we've built walls. I say we, but my contractor has built walls such that I have 3 designated classrooms plus like an office space for myself. My desire for my next bus is to be much longer so that I can have much more space, but it's essentially a classroom on wheels. Yeah. And right now my age ranges from, I have a 5-year-old, my youngest, and my oldest is, I think he's 31, and he's earning his GED. So we work with all age ranges. Yeah. And the good thing about it is during the school day, when students are at school, then I'm able to address my adults who have learning needs, GED, applications, resumes. We can work with adults in that way. But then after school, we go to the locations where we're going to park, and the students come. They board the bus, they bring us their homework, we work on their, whatever they're working on in class at the time, and then they get off and we go and we do it again somewhere else. And right now I'm working with this one bus, but my desire, like I said, is to have several so we can get more of this community, more of other communities. Yeah, that's what we look at right now.
That is tremendous. Let me tell you, one, you had me at 5-year-old. So you said 31?
I believe he's 31.
But and so you can have the kindergartner or pre-K, depending on where they are, to the adult, and I love it. So let me just tell you right now, I have a get everything done. That's why I call it GED. Get everything done.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I have a get everything done. Let me tell you how relieving it is to say that, because it was a time in my life that nobody knew, and I never want to talk about it because it was such a a stigma around it.
Yeah.
So, but to overcome that thing, because that's all mindset. The first thing I did was somebody told me, why don't you Google what stars or what famous people have GEDs? And once I got down to the list, I was, God dang, it's a bunch of us. We run around. I said, look, but guess what? It's not where you start, it's where you finish.
Right.
Society says you got to have a piece of paper. All I know is that my piece of paper, it says, look, high school, it doesn't say equivalency. It says the same. It looks just like the high school diploma that my sister got, that when she walked across the same stage, that nice. As I like to say, she seed her way through. But she got it. Right? She got it. But I think it is key, and it's so. I'm so pleased to hear. I was already excited. I'm going to bring Hope up here. I was already excited to hear, hey, how that there's an opportunity for young people there's a bus that you can come on and get what you need. But now you done threw in and gave me this juice to tell me that it's not only for children but adults.
Mm-hmm.
Because of the shame. Let me just talk about the shame of, now it may not be that way anymore because more people are doing what they got to do. But the shame for me, we almost was like trying to do it in the cloak of darkness. Go to school at night. Shh, don't tell nobody. Right?
Yeah.
So you don't have to do that. You can go on this bus with other people just like you, with people that really absolutely want you to win.
Right.
Right. And so I thank you and honor you just for that alone. So what part of North Carolina are you in, and how can somebody contact you if they wanted to learn more, support, and how can they support you? That we want to know. We want to know, how can they learn more? How can they support you? And how can they get their kids to be a part of that program?
Well, I'm in Henderson, North Carolina, and that is 20 miles south of the border of Virginia. So we're just outside of Virginia, 20 miles. It's not far from there. And to get in touch with me, you can find 4.0 Mobile Learning Clinic on Facebook. You can contact me directly at 252-432-9790. You can find me on about.me 4.0. Yeah, I think those are the best ways to contact me. And to support me, you got a school bus? Anybody got a school bus just sitting around?
Come on now. Say the number again. Say the number again. The phone number.
The phone number 252 432 9790. Yeah, you can contact me directly that way.
We got to put the phone number up, man. All right. So tell me, what is your great, now I know of course we know school bus. Anybody got school bus? But what is, besides the school bus, what else is your greatest need? Would you say it's your greatest need?
Well, because I feel like my purpose is to work with as many students as possible, referrals. Referrals will really help me achieve that, because it gets me out there. Like this show, more and more people will know what I do because of this show, and I so appreciate that. Monetary donations, if you want to help me buy another bus, I'll appreciate that. We are a 501c3 nonprofit, by the way. We have students who there is a cost, but there are students who we have who don't pay, and that's how we want it. Actually, we want it to be free to everyone, but of course, for the moment, that's not how it is. But yeah, you can support me financially, which is not really supporting me. It's actually getting more students in who aren't able to pay.
That is, and so here's this. What is your students? Do they come? Look, you got already LaWanda Barber. I know she's loving it. Yes. So now we always got to get landmarks. Where you are outside of, you say it's close to what? Give me a landmark. Everybody know Wilmington, Charlotte.
Okay. So Raleigh and Durham.
Yes.
We're about 30 minutes from each one of those.
Oh.
Yeah, I can get to Durham in about 25, 30 minutes. I can get to Raleigh in about 30 minutes.
So, are you seeking to grow? Do you have staff?
I do. I have one person who works with me now. At one time, I've had 4 people working with me. It all depends on the current need.
Okay, so I'm just gonna throw this out here just because I just know this amazing person that is getting ready to move to North Carolina, who I think would be interested at all. My co-host is getting ready to leave me and move to North Carolina. So I just want to throw that out there. That's my 10 cents, and that's all I'm going to say.
Okay. We can talk later. You and I can talk later.
She won't get me, maybe not right now, but yes. She'll be like, look, sorry, Hope. It's right up there. It's right up there with it was your birthday today.
Mm-hmm.
Charge me later. But I want to know, as a person that you were something already. What you are, you started as an entrepreneur. When you started, we have a lot of entrepreneurs on here. What was your toughest hurdle, and how did you overcome it?
My toughest hurdle, and it's not even getting the schools on board with what I'm doing, getting the school system to understand that I'm there to help, to support, and not, because I came from the school system. I kind of left the school system so that I could serve as a support, not just to one school, but to all schools in this area and others. So now when I'm coming in, it's like, okay, I want to help the students. Can you, put my flyer in their folders or somehow, put a sign up? But no, they did not want to do that because they said they would be, there's competition, but there was no competition. There was nobody else here doing what I'm doing. So I don't know, that might sound vain, I'm sorry, but that was my biggest hurdle, getting the schools to understand my purpose, my intention, and then to work with me to do that. They've gotten better. I'm in more now, but I've been in this game 10 years. So it's gotten me to get 10 years in to get, more recognition and acknowledgement that I'm here to help. That's been the biggest.
I got another question for you. And I know I'm going to kick off the Hope Price said, can I get my question? Okay, I'm sorry. One more question. Are you connected to the churches in the area? Because there's all these church schools, and are you connected to the churches? And if not, what do you need to get connected? Because I think if you were connected and they can tie in, because in these churches we have all these people in leadership who is in charge of, can make decision makers that can bring you in to their educational programs.
It is very interesting that you asked that question, because just last week there's a pastor who I used to work with on a committee in my county years ago. And he came while I was working with some students, and he came and he toured the bus, and he told me that he had been planning to come talk to me for some time now. He wants me to partner with him to work with the children at his church. So and I responded to him. I got back with him on Monday, and he said he's going to get back with me with a list of students who need my services. Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to pop off because I want Hope to ask you to share that. We want you to share the thing that means a lot to you. I want you to show us that thing and tell us why it means a lot to you. And then we'll come back, and Hope will come back with her question.
Okay. So this is, this is a clock. It's a huge and beautiful clock that has my logo on it. Are you able to read that? It says 4.0 Mobile Learning Clinic Incorporated, 2021-22. That's Vance Virtual Academy, V3A Partner of the Year. And I was given this at not an award ceremony, well, kind of like an appreciation ceremony this year from the school that my company sponsors. And in my mind, I did so little in comparison to what I wanted to do for that school. I wanted to do so much more for the teachers. I mean, I did some things. I did maybe 2-3 things that in my mind were not as significant as what I wanted to do. But when they invited me to this and they presented me with the, Partner of the Year, it meant so much to me, because it's like, oh my goodness, I asked to be their sponsor. To, what do you need? You got something going on? How can I help? And I did a few things, but I felt like it's nothing in comparison. But it meant so much to them. And I could tell it meant so much to them because they gave me this clock, which means so much to me. And so I love it so much that I haven't even, you see it's still in the box, because I haven't found a good enough space to hang it. So my decision was, when I get my second mobile learning clinic, it'll have much more space and I will hang it in there. And yeah, it's beautiful. It's just a beautiful clock, and I just don't even know where to put it. In my house, I don't feel like there's a wall that's worthy of it. So I'm going to put it in my next mobile classroom. But that's what means the most to me.
I just realized I'm talking and my mic was on. Hope, I'm sorry, you frozen, Hope? Because I know you had a question. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. Guess I'm not frozen now. I don't know what's going on. That's the devil, it's the enemy. With everything that you're doing, have you reached out to like some of the local colleges in your area as well? Like I know some schools they have their education programs, and I know some college campuses have they work with a lot of the schools and different things. Sometimes I think that could be another avenue for you to check into. And I'm only saying it because my daughter is a teacher at Dell State, not at Dell State, but she went to Dell State, and she's a teacher in Delaware. And I know that she was able to get a lot of different opportunities for just when she was starting to teach with the university. So I think that could be another avenue for you to look into as well to get some additional resources and maybe some connections within to the school systems and getting some additional support as well. But I think what you're doing is amazing, because again I do feel like there's a lot of kids out here that are underserved. They're not getting what they need, and I think just listening to my daughter when she talks about some of the kids that she deals with, they brush them off, especially if they have a behavioral issue. Then they just feel like they're not going to do anything. So I commend you for helping them to see that there's something else out there for them and that there's a better future for them, because if someone doesn't help them paint the picture, they can never see it. So you're painting a picture for them in order for them to visualize that there's more out there for them. So I know you talked about, and I may have missed it when my screen froze, so if you answer this question, just say it, but you talked about the mind shift when you shifted from trying to switch over from veterinary into education. How was your mind shift from shifting from employee to CEO and entrepreneur? How did you make that adjustment from employee mindset to I'm about to own my own business, so I'm responsible for the payroll?
Yeah, that's one of those things that falls in line with doing it scared, because you're leaving the security of steady income. Whereas students need a tutor, they feel like while they're in school, but during the summer, which I do have a summer program, but right when school ends until halfway through the summer, it's like, we don't need a tutor. We're not gonna spend money on that. So then that means, okay, so where am I? That's where employment, looks like a better thing. But no, I don't, it was a shift. It's still a shift, because even now I'm employed with one of the local community colleges, but I'm not working through the summer so that I can work on my summer program. I have a job, but my desire is to continue to do this full time. I feel like it serves a greater purpose. I feel like there's a greater need for what I do here versus what I do at the college. Like anybody can go do what I do at the college, I feel like. But this particular endeavor here is me. My heart is in this. So yeah, the mind shift came with just knowing that this is my purpose. This is what I'm supposed to be doing. And I feel like I'll be sustained, and I've been sustained because I'm fulfilling my purpose. I hope that answered your question.
That did answer my question. It did very much answer my question. What advice would you give to a new entrepreneur that maybe wants to get into something similar to what you're doing, or just looking to get into stepping out and doing it scared? What advice would you give to them other than doing it scared? What other advice would you give to them?
I'll give them the advice my sister gave me. It doesn't have to be perfect. Like, I didn't want to start using my mobile classroom until, the floor was perfectly done and all the walls had the wallpaper and the paint and the desks and once I had the space, it was like, go do it. It's never going to be as perfect, and I can continue to build on it as I go. But it's like, just start. That's the advice I would give to anybody. And that's the advice my sister pretty much gave to me. Like, you're never going to do it as long as you're waiting for it to be perfect. Just start. And you'll see as you go along little things that either don't matter or that you can continue to work on as you go. But the thing is, just start. So that's my advice to anybody who's starting something new.
That's good advice. Thanks, sister, for that wonderful advice. So now we all have it. Just do it. Just start.
Just start. Yeah.
Just start. That I agree. That is key because I know I'm guilty of it sometimes. Just not wanting to move forward for whatever reason. So I was hesitant when Stephanie asked me to be co-host on this show, and now we're almost 3 years in. We're still hanging in there. So I definitely love it. So I'm just going to kind of break things up. We could have answered this earlier, but if you could go anywhere in the world, where would it be and why?
My desire and plan actually is to go to Africa. I have a friend from Nigeria who she has a real estate company and she desires to build a school. Well, my desire is to assist with that endeavor and teach in Africa. So yeah, that's where I want to go. It can be Nigeria or it can be some of the other underserved areas, but definitely that particular continent. I want to go to Africa. Mm-hmm.
That's good.
You know, I had to
Well, now we put it out there, so now things are about to happen. We about to manifest it now because it's out there in the universe. So
yeah, we're gonna do it.
Let me tell you. Let me just go ahead. Sasha Butler. I know you're probably gonna be watching this either now or later. Sasha Butler, that she has a program. Hello, Facebook user. She has a program. That might be Sasha. Sasha, is that you? She has a program that is global. And and I'm part of a group, and I'm going to forward you this information. That group, we meet once a month, and there's a bunch of us in the group. And when we're on that meeting, we have to meet like later on in the evening because people are coming in from all over the world and primarily various places in Africa. So they might be logging on. It may be like 3, 4 o'clock or 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock in the morning. And we're trying, right? So then we're like, hello, good evening. They're like, good morning. It's 3 o'clock.
Yeah.
But they, and then some of them may be, like it's dark. I mean, when I say dark, they somewhere in some little room somewhere. And particularly during the pandemic. But I say all that to say there's like Mr. Kalechi. He created a whole school. And I mean, when I say a whole school, it has become, people are coming from far and wide because they want to teach there. It has become magnificent. When you have a couple coins and you bless somebody with those coins, and particularly if you come from another country, that they come from the U.S. and they bring their money and they bring their talents and their abilities, and so now the school is it's a private school. Well, all of them are private technically, right? But it's one of the most sought after schools. Everybody has a uniform. They provide everything. It's magnificent. It's not just a building. It's a 2-story building. It's huge, and it started with somebody wanting to do something. He created a school, he put it out there, and people started building into his dream. And now there are, and it's like you in the sense of I want to say elementary school up through college. And it's magnificent. So, I mean, but that is an example. And I want to say I want to say it's Kenya. I want to say it's Kenya, but I'm having a moment. But I will give you the information and connect with those and connect with us. Connect with us because we're all in this group. And I'm gonna, in fact, at some point, I'm gonna pop out and pop back in because I'm gonna put it in the chat so you can see. You can have this link. I want you to connect with this group.
All right, thank you.
And I think that you can pour into them, and they can pour back into you.
Nice.
So this her story. Everybody that comes on here, they have things they offer. What is it that because I know it was something you had put on it that you wanted to give them an assessment. So talk about this assessment.
Okay, so the assessments that we provide, like for instance, for our summer program, it's called our Summer Bridge, the 4.0 Summer Bridge program. And the bridge is from their current grade to the grade they're going to. So when they enroll at the beginning of the summer, we give them a diagnostic assessment in math and reading to be sure that they have acquired all the skills necessary to complete the grade they're leaving. Okay. So if they have not, we create a plan to give them the skills that they are going to need before they go to that next grade. So let's say I have a fourth grader who's technically he's leaving fourth grade, but too often I'm finding students who are being pushed from grade to grade, whether they're ready or not, for the sake of county statistics, but that's another story. So this student, I'm going to give him the assessment and I'm going to see where his strengths and weaknesses are. And then we're going to build a plan such that he will address every one of those weaknesses until he masters them before he goes to that next grade. So, and in that way, again, we're supporting the school system because we're sending students actually ready for the next grade. Then toward the end of the summer, we'll introduce some of the fifth grade skills or whatever the next grade is, so that there's an easier transition from fourth to fifth grade. And so our diagnostic assessment gives us the tools to see what students actually need so that we can get it to them before they need it in the next grade. And that's what we're offering today, free diagnostic exams for any student who enrolls.
Thank you for that information. I have a question, and it's from my daughter. She's listening, but she's driving, so she can't type. I'm proud of her for doing that. She wanted to know, is there a specific curriculum that you use as a testing tool?
We use the varsity tutors testing for diagnostics. It's called varsity tutors, and it breaks down skill by skill what a student needs. And it even offers suggestions for how to achieve, the student meeting those goals. It's excellent because it gives the parent a breakdown of what the student needs as well.
Thank you.
So I just put something in the chat because I wanted you. That's changing destinations. That's one of the two.
Okay.
That's Sasha. But I'm going to connect you with her, and she is actually the director of our leadership program. She has that business, but she's also is the director of a leadership program here in the state that we're in, state of Maryland. It's called Leadership Howard. It's an amazing program. So she's all about the leadership. She's one of those John Maxwell speakers, certified and all that good stuff. But education is her thing. Education is her thing. In fact, I believe she is a doctoral student and candidate, and her mother is also a doctor. So that in education, love education. She's a former principal. So, and she's also a member of this group, and she's in New York. Okay. But we all, it's like she's right around the corner, because when we're on the Zoom, we're in there together. So we will make sure that you get an invite to that group to bring your talents.
Thank you.
Yes, but I want to know, if you could only do one thing, then you already told us how we could help, but I want you to give your spiel. I want you to say, hey, this is how we serve. But if today you feel like you want to donate, you want to bless us, you want to do whatever, how they can do it, what you need, what your needs are, and how you serve the community, but more importantly, how they can serve you, not necessarily serving you, but serve the people you serve by donating to your organization.
Okay. If you would like to bless my company in that way, you can send us a Cash App at $4.0 tutoring, which is the number 4, the word point, and the number 0 tutoring. That's my Cash App for business. And what we need, replication more than anything. I would like to purchase another vehicle. I would like to transform it into classrooms similar to the first one, but the first one, I wish I could just turn my computer around and show you out the window what my first, it's pretty much a shuttle bus. And it's one of the ones that's only got 4 windows, so it's not as long. My desire is to purchase one of the very long school buses, the full-length school bus, because I want also to have a lobby for parents if they choose to stay on board while the student gets tutored. And I call it a clinic because that's pretty much how I want to set it up. Whereas you're in the lobby and you get called back when it's your time and you go back and you work. And when your session is over, you're dismissed and you go out with your parent like you do at a doctor's office. My students pretty much have what they need in terms of supplies, but we're routinely blessed with supplies for students. We're blessed with snacks. We've been blessed with snacks for students. So my desire more than anything is to replicate, such that I can serve more students. And that is the ultimate goal, is to, have this service in as many places and as many areas as possible. I've been challenged to come to the Richmond area, and I can see that happening before the end of the year. I can see having a location that we service in Richmond, Virginia before the end of the year. And so if you desire to help me in that endeavor, absolutely, yes, please. Cash App 4.0 tutoring. We are a nonprofit, so all donations are tax deductible. So yeah.
I'm going to try my best. Hold on. I'm going to try that. Don't you listen. This is a try, but we're going to try. I want to show. I'm going to try to share my screen, y'all. Charge it to my head, not my heart if I don't do this, but we're going to try to do something here. We don't want that. We're going, all right, y'all. Okay. All right. Look at that. Look at God. Y'all, can y'all see it?
Yeah.
All right, now let's see if we can get this thing to do. Oh, we don't want to do that. We want to show the video. Okay, hold on. Sign in. Okay, ask later. Okay, yeah.
I want them nationwide. As many Amazon trucks as you see, I want you to see mobile learning clinics as well.
Adwanna Howard is putting the pedal to the metal, not when it comes to speed, but in chasing her vision.
That's my ultimate goal. That is my purpose in life, to teach students, all students.
Howard was a teacher for 17 years before opening her own tutoring nonprofit, 4.0. Her services previously confined to a Vance County building.
People would ask me to assist with a paper here, assist with an assignment there, and I had the encouragement of a very special friend to basically say, why not do it as a business?
Howard welcomed students aboard the Mobile Learning Center for the first time in August, transforming this bus once used for church services into a classroom on wheels.
9 plus 9 plus 9 plus 9 won't give you 37. Let's check that one.
It was a $6,000 investment, not to mention all the renovations. But Howard isn't doing any of this for money.
Devin is one of my favorites and oldest students, and I get to see them growing, their preferences changing.
It's about creating a community that supports and respects each other.
You have the answer right in front of you.
A helping hand extending beyond these four walls.
I'll go to their games. I'll go to any events, award ceremonies. I show them that support.
Howard's efforts don't go unnoticed. This high schooler has worked with Howard since first grade and struggles with her mental health.
My teacher pretty much said that I would have failed first grade if I was not here doing work.
Need this done first.
Even if it's like past time where, your session ended already. I've stayed like extra minutes when she was still doing this at her house.
Whether it's virtual or on wheels.
With area, there's no addition.
Howard's driven to make an impact.
They can be successful. They can do what they enjoy doing. They can do it at a significant level. They can make a living doing it. And it can be something that they genuinely feel purpose to do.
Uh-oh. All right, y'all, hold tight now. I can do one thing at a time. All right, let's come on back over here. What say y'all? Look, y'all, I'm almost grown when I pulled that one up, huh?
You had it.
So let me tell y'all this. Look, for my listeners out there, what do you think? What do you think? Listen, we believe in giving people their flowers while they are here to smell them, hear them, and read them. So what are your thoughts after you saw that video? What are you thinking? And for those people that are particularly my friends in North Carolina and otherwise, those people that have who have thriving businesses, and particularly, I know some of y'all, this is July. I know you just got rid of a bunch of money. You had to get rid of that money for July 1, but we're going into a new year. So I'm just saying, when you're thinking at the end of your fiscal year, come June 2022, 2023, when you're like, okay, who can I donate to? Because you said you are a nonprofit organization, correct?
Yes, I did.
All right. So that means that you can write this off on your taxes, and you are blessing someone else who's blessing someone else. How about that? So I want to know, So we're going to share this out. We're going to share this out because now I know. So one, I believe, is in Raleigh or Durham. I feel like it's the same thing, Raleigh, Durham. The people say it together, Raleigh, Durham.
I know they.
My neighbor that's right across. Well, his house is right across the street, and he lives here. But my understanding, he and his family just moved to Raleigh or Durham, right? And he's a nationwide agent and a very successful one. And of course, my soror is she's a very successful State Farm agent, the only Black female State Farm agent in Charlotte. I can't wait to share you and your business with them. Who else wants to share? Who else is going to be sharing out this amazing organization, this amazing human? Who else is going to be sharing their information out? Because I'm telling you right now, listen, there is knowledge. That's one way to grow. There's no somebody or no somebodies. We a whole lot of somebodies that know a whole lot of somebodies. And if we just support each other, we don't have to worry about looking and trying to find somebody else, because this is a great program. I mean, let me applaud you right now. This is a great program. I'm like, what do you think about that video?
I love it. Oh, I was addicted to it the first time. People told me they saw it before I even saw it. I didn't know it had aired. I was like, you saw it already? And yeah, I used to watch it all day when it first aired. So I love it. I love the detail that it tells exactly what I do.
Yeah, I love it too.
I think it's amazing. I think, again, it's amazing what you're doing, how you started, and finding a way to meet a need, by making it mobile. So you're available to go to people, because sometimes people don't have the transportation to get to the resources they need. So therefore you can go to them. So I think it's amazing. And I truly believe that as this video is shared, you are going to get so many things that you need. I am manifesting and prophetically speaking that someone is going to donate a bus to you. Nice. I truly believe that is going to happen, that someone is going to donate a bus to you so that you can expand what you're doing, because I don't think it's just meant to be in North Carolina. I see it expanding across other states because I think it's much needed. So I think what you're doing is amazing. I am going to be sharing it. My daughter has been watching, and she never watches these things. So the fact that she's watching and she is so interested, so she is truly amazed by what you're doing as well. So yes, God is going to bless you with everything that you need.
I believe that. Thank you.
Hope has spoken, and I agree. I agree with Hope. There's no way, because I think my response to everything was to everybody today. Look, all my educators, all my folks, and particularly all my people that's sitting on this dream. This is, I bet you somebody saying right now, I thought of doing something like that kind of sort. They thought about it. And I heard somebody say a long time ago, Les Brown actually, when I was going through one of his trainings, he said, how, and we've all said it, when you had the idea, but you never acted on it, and then somebody else do it, you're like, oh, they stole my idea. No, they didn't.
Yeah.
That's their idea. See, it wasn't your idea until you act on it. Do you understand what I'm saying? Until you act on it, it was just something was in your head. That was their idea. They acted on it. And so how many of you had a similar idea, but you didn't act on it? How many of you right now in your communities, in your hometowns, like, oh man, we could use something like that? And you have the ability to do one or two things. You may say, you know what, I have some money, but I ain't got that. I got some money, but I don't have the time or the energy or the know-how to make this happen. Well, Adwanna already told you that she plans to branch this thing out. So how about you just support her and let her branch out, and you work that, you do with contracts and business and do what businesses do. But you can make it happen in your community. And if you are somebody that actually wants to do it, but you don't know how to do it, well, I'm sure Adwanna will, for a nominal fee, because she's got, we're going to have to let Adwanna for a nominal fee. Come on now, somebody. Come on, Clarissa. Tell her, because you know I'm gonna fix something for her right now. Because see, if I just say Adwanna will help you, she'll be right there on this helping. But let me see. Let me just say this. Sometimes Adwanna, sometimes when you give things away for free, sometimes, not always, the person that's receiving it doesn't respect and honor the gift because they didn't have to give something, right, to get it. And so I'm saying you had to work hard, and I'm not saying that you can give them lots of things and help them along the journey. And look at that. But you have to make sure that the first thing they do is invest in themselves by first investing in you to get the information that they need. Now I'm saying you don't have to, you ain't got to be coach crazy with the money, right? But I'm saying, you with your time, honor your time. So you all, we pay everybody else. I'm just saying it, right, Hope? This is I'm just saying show. Okay. So Hope, let me see what time we are. We got time check. All right, it's 7:29. So Hope is going to close this out. And we first want to tell you thank you for your yes. And we will put out in everywhere how they can find you. And please, when you get that next bus and when those funds and those donations start rolling in, we want you to notify us so we can celebrate along with you.
Absolutely, yes.
All righty. All right, Hope, take us on out.
All right, you all, we thank you so much for joining us tonight as we had Adwanna Howard on for tonight. Again, we are going to share this information, and we just ask that you all share it as well. If you're not able to weren't able to listen to the live, please listen to the replay. But please be sure to share out the 4.0 mobile learning clinic. And, again, just pour back in because the children are our future. So if it's up to us to help to raise them up, I remember growing up, we had a village. Our neighborhood, it wasn't just our families, it was a neighborhood thing. It was a village. We need to bring back that village community to support our kids and paint different pictures for them, not what they see on reality TV, but what can actually be their life. So we thank you for joining us tonight. We just ask that you continue to allow your light to shine because the light inside of you is the purpose that God has planted inside of you. So if your light is too bright for someone else, ask them to put on their sunglasses. If it is too bright for you, put on your sunglasses. But just allow your light to shine because that is God's purpose for your life. Good night, and we will see you all next week.
Hello, Stephanie Wall here, Speaker Stephanie. They call me the Tower of Power, changing 1 million lives. Listen, today the word is opportunity. Andy Rooney says that opportunity is not lost. It's simply picked up by somebody else if we choose not to receive it. So if opportunity presents itself, do not let it pass you by. Move forward. The only thing that goes against us is when we miss an opportunity that was presented to us. So on this day, the word opportunity, we're going to be opportunists. We're going to be someone that takes advantage of all opportunities. So be blessed until the next time. See you soon. Don't forget, subscribe. Hit the button. Hit the button.